Everyone thinks Sense and Sensibility is about two sisters. Eleanor is sense, Marianne is sensibility. The whole book is their collision. But Austen was doing something else at the same time, something nobody talks about. She was running the same experiment on the men, and the results are uncomfortable. Before we get into today's video, I made something. It's a Notion budget template based on Elinor Dashwood. Every expense is either Eleanor, things you need, or Marianne, things you really can't justify but buy anyway. At the end of the month, one question: would she approve? It's called Sense and Spending. Link in the description. Okay, let's go. Austen gives us 3 men in this book. Each one represents something. Edward Ferrars is sense. He's careful, measured, restrained. He knows what's right.
But where is Miss Margaret? I declare, Mrs. Dashwood, I'm beginning to doubt of her existence. She must run positively wild.
Pray forgive us, Mr. Ferrars. My youngest is not to be found this morning. She's a little shy of strangers at present.
Well, naturally. I'm shy of strangers myself, and I have nothing like her excuse.
Willoughby is sensibility. He's passionate, charming, alive. He feels everything, or appears to.
Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove.
And then there's Colonel Brandon. Quiet, older, easy to overlook.
If I were you, I would not give him up to a younger sister for all this tumbling downhill. The man himself. Come, Brandon, we know when we are not wanted. Let us leave him to the ladies.
Here's the question Austen is actually asking. What happens when you put these qualities under pressure, when sense and sensibility aren't just personality traits, but things you have to pay for? Edward Ferrars has sense, but when it matters, his sense doesn't save him. He stays in an engagement he knows is wrong for years, not because he believes in it, but because he can't bring himself to act. He waits, and in the end, Lucy solves the problem for him. She leaves. She finds someone richer. Edward never had to pay anything.
I received a letter from Miss Steele, Mrs. Ferrars, I should say, communicating to me the transfer of her affections to my brother Robert.
Willoughby has sensibility. In the moment, it's real. His feeling for Marianne is genuine, but the moment it costs him something, it's gone. He chooses the money. He chooses the comfortable life. His sensibility had a price, and it turned out to be surprisingly low.
He is to be married at the end of the month to a Miss Grey with £50,000.
2 men, 2 qualities, neither one willing to pay what it actually costs. Now look at the women. Eleanor carries her sense like a weight for the entire novel. She finds out the man she loves is secretly engaged to someone else. She tells no one. She sits in the same room as her rival, week after week, and functions. Her sense costs her everything: her peace, her health, her ability to ask for help. She pays every day and nobody sees it.
Why did you not tell me?
Lucy told me in the strictest confidence. I could not break my word.
Edward loves you.
He made me no promises. He tried to tell me about Lucy.
He cannot marry her.
Marianne's sensibility nearly kills her, literally. When Willoughby leaves, she doesn't recover. She collapses. She stops eating. She gets dangerously ill. Her feeling for him is so complete, so unguarded, that losing him becomes a physical crisis. Two men, same qualities, but the women go all the way. They don't stop when it gets expensive. They don't wait for someone else to solve it.
Always resignation and acceptance. Always prudence and honor and duty.
And then there's Brandon. Colonel Brandon loved a woman the system took from him. He watched her destroyed, forced into a bad marriage, abandoned, left to die in poverty. He carried that for years, quietly, without performing his grief for anyone.
He had a tragic history. He loved a girl once, 20 years ago now, a ward to his family, but they were not permitted to marry.
On what grounds?
Money. Eliza was poor. When the father discovered their amour, she was flung out of the house and he was packed off into the army.
Then he watched Marianne fall for Willoughby. He knew what Willoughby was. He said nothing because he understood that warning her would only push her closer. He waited. He stayed. When Marianne was sick and Willoughby was gone, Brandon rode through the night to bring her mother to her. No grand gesture, no declaration, just presence, when it cost him something to be there. Brandon is the only man in this book who pays the same price the women pay, the only one whose feeling survives contact with reality, and everyone spends the novel wondering why Marianne could possibly end up with him.
It is no more at all, nor is the earth the less or loseth aught. For whatsoever from one place doth fall is with the tide unto another broad.
Here's the argument Austen is making, quietly, underneath the love story. Sense and sensibility are not the problem. The problem is what happens when they're not backed by something deeper. Call it courage, call it conviction, call it the willingness to keep going when keeping going costs you something real. Edward had sense without that. Willoughby had feeling without that. Both of them waited for circumstances to arrange themselves. Eleanor, Marianne, Brandon, all three paid. All three stayed in it when leaving would have been easier. Austen didn't write a book about two sisters. She wrote a book about what it looks like when a quality, any quality, is actually tested, and she made sure that the man who passed the test was the one nobody was watching. Tell me in the comments, did you root for Brandon the first time you read this? Or did you need a few reads to see what Austen was actually doing with him? And the harder question, Edward and Willoughby are everywhere in real life, men with the right qualities on paper, who just never quite pay the price. How long did it take you to tell the difference? I'm Sana, this is Monica's Pie. Stay sharp, see you in the next one.